Hello! Colour lookup tables are getting some love now in Max thanks to Preben and Necrym. So what I've done is updated xLUT, which will be released in the next week or so, to allow for these new changes. If you don't know about xLUT, it creates colour lookup tables to use within Max or Classic. What this now allows is, because Necrym has created a fantastic behaviour, we can go a little bit further with LUTs and create some special effects. Let me just show you how it works. So we've got a couple of options here. We've got some auto-generated effects. Colour to grayscale, colour to sepia, random effect, random cartoon. If I do the colour to grayscale and just set up a folder, we call it effect, and then we want a name for the effect, so it's grayscale, so I'll just call it GS and click OK. Now it creates a LUT, but what it does, it generates a sequence of LUTs. This is the extra bit that Necrym has done, which is fantastic, to be able to support this within Max. So if we go into the effect folder, we can see now that we've got 20 LUTs, and what they do is they go from this to this in real time. To show you even further, the grayscale one, if we look in the LUT folder in Max, I've created an effects folder. With that effects folder, I've already created quite a few tests, and I've already done a grey one here, which is the same as this one, exactly the same, and it's there. So let me just show you what this actually does in Max and how simple it is to use with Necrym's behaviour, of course. So let's go into this. Go into the level. Start marker. So what we need is to add a trigger zone. So we'll just add a trigger zone. If we go to the developer settings, this is where we can change the script, and this is where we choose Necrym's script. This isn't available yet. This is what he sent me for testing. So it's called a LUT zone. So that trigger zone now is now a LUT zone. So if we click away from it and click back on it, and we go to behavior, you can see we've got all these different settings. The LUT can be changed when the player enters the zone, prompt text, display when enters the LUT group to change without PNG file extension, transition. So all the instructions are there of what you do. The basic thing is you've got a prompt text, which you don't need to have, but this is for testing. It goes to a standard editor's LUT, whatever. This folder here, eventually, we're hoping Lee will change it so we can put them in the writables area, which will make more sense and allow us to create the effects folder. So what I will do, I know that I've got an effects subfolder within editors. So if we go to LUT, there's the effects folder. So what I will do, let's just move these out of the way, is I'll take that out, type in effects / and the name of the effect I want, which this time is the grey, so I call that folder grey. So if we go to grey, and then the name of the LUT, which is just the first LUT, which is the name without the number, so that's CTG. You look here, we've got all these in sequence, and CTG is the main LUT. The one without the number is the one that you put in here. What Necrym has done is created different transitions. So we've got an instant transition, a fade, or incremental. Instant will be used with single LUT files like we did normally. We just generate the LUT file and that's it. Fade also the same, single LUT file. The one that's special is the incremental one. Now the incremental one is basically it'll start with one LUT and end up with the last LUT. So it's basically, you could look at that as frames. So it's frames, so number of frames. So if we look back at the folder, we've got 20 here, but we've already declared that as one of them, so that leaves us with 19. So what we do here is we can either use the slider or type in 19. What this tells the zone to do is to start with that LUT and then add one each time. So let's just run this now and you'll understand what I'm saying. So the number of increments is 19. We're starting with the standard LUT and then it will pass through to each other LUT. So let's just show you how it works. So this is our level. If we just walk into the zone, everything goes to grayscale. We walk out of the zone, it goes back to standard colours. And it's a smooth, nice transition. Okay, that's just one effect. You can have multiple zones with multiple effects. Let's create an effect. Yeah, we'll save that because I'll use that trigger zone. Let's create a manual effect. So let's reset this. So what you can do, you've got your starting image. Obviously, these images come from screenshots. There's another tool that are released with xLUT called xCapture, and you can run xCapture and take screenshots of your levels. So it doesn't matter what the starting image is because the LUTs are universal. So this is just a reference for users to see exactly what's happening. So let's create something, I don't know, like a cartoon effect, I suppose. So let's turn the brightness up a little bit. Setting the saturation right up. Let's turn the U up a little bit as well, so it makes the colours a little bit more cartoony. So like it's not a cartoon effect, but it is in a way. So what we can do now, if we go to auto generate effects, we've got an option to enable a sequence. So if we turn on enable sequence, this button here will change from generate LUT to generate sequence. So we turn that on, and now we've got a LUT sequence. So if we left that switched off, that would just create a single LUT that you could use for the fade or swap. If we want to create a sequence, we turn on the enable sequence and it will create a LUT sequence that will take us to this. So we just select LUT sequence. I'll use the same folder. I could create a new one and create a different, but for this I'll just use the same folder. There's files in there, you do want to overwrite them. Oh, I've got it open. Sorry, I've got that folder open. I will create a new folder. Let's do that again. Turn off, turn on, LUT sequence. Let's create a new folder. I'm going to call it cartoon. Here we go. Cartoon. I'll use that folder. Okay. I'm just call it tune. Okay. And it's created a LUT sequence that will go from that to that. And the folders here. And there's the LUTs. So I'll copy those. I'll put them in my effects folder, and there's already a cartoon one there, but I'll use the ones I've just created. Yes. Okay, so that matches those. Come out of there. Close this. Go back into our game. And now we'll point the trigger zone to our new effect. Or we could add another trigger zone with the effect, but for this purpose we'll just edit this one. So if we go to the behavior, the effect's grey, so it's now in a folder called cartoon. And the primary LUT file is called tune. And we can save that 19 because it's always going to do 20 frames, so that number will always be 19 if you're using my app. So if we just run that, okay, and there we go. It gives you a more vivid colour effect. I suppose it's similar to cartoon, but you can understand what you can do with this. It's quite powerful. It gives you an option to do loads of effects. You can go from day to night, night to day. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. So Preben and Necrym have done an awesome job with the LUT system in Mac. It's absolutely brilliant. And that's it, guys. Speak soon. Bye.